Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and this is Outerra. What is Outerra? Well, it's a fully realised procedural planet Earth. This software has been around for quite a while now and it's actually available as a free tech demo, although you can buy into the alpha and get all manner of upgrades to it. As you can see, there is a huge amount of detail to this, from individual stones and blades of grass right up to the clouds and mountains in the distance. What's more is that you are completely free to roam around anywhere you like, anywhere on the entire planet. And as this is planet Earth, it means you can go to any country, any state or any island that you actually want. Unfortunately, there are no cities in Outerra, but what is here more than makes up for that. After all, Outerra probably is the only way you can explore the entire planet Earth through the comfort of your computer. You're not just limited to walking around, of course. You can accelerate your speed up to multiple factors, and indeed you can fly through the air, and we're going to use that ability to head on to those mountains there in the distance. As we head on over there, you can see the clouds changing shape and taking form. The clouds are entirely procedurally generated, and they work pretty much as they should in the real world, although in accelerated form. And as we move away from the desert, we get to see some greenery here on these mountains. The edges of these cliffs are wonderfully realised, beautiful textures, and also you can see just how much detail there is here as we get close to the surface. For any of you that are fortunate enough to live near an area like this, or indeed have visited areas like this, you'll know just how close this actually is to the real thing. And here you can see the draw distance is completely unrestricted. It will go right to the horizon's edge where the planet starts curving round. Any limitations on the draw distance here are actually down to realistic weather patterns. Now, I do hope you can excuse some of the slightly jerky camera motions here. They're nowhere near as smooth as what I normally do in these types of apps, and that's because I had trouble binding either the control pad or the joystick into this Outerra demo. The software does apparently support those, and there is an option there for those controllers in the main menu, but I just couldn't get them to work no matter how hard I tried. But this is quite probably down to me doing something wrong. Also, you might notice that the resolution is a little bit lower than normal, and that was due to the fact that this software runs in OpenGL, and although it runs flawlessly on my PC and a very high frame rate, my capture software, XSplit, did have a little bit of difficulty with it. Once again, as we fly through that valley there, you can see just how realistically everything is modelled. In fact, that level of detail even extends right down to the grass, where you'll probably notice that it only actually grows where it should grow. As we move out of the valley again, we find ourselves moving into a desert area and then over to another mountainous ridge. But as I accelerate, we slowly leave the surface of the planet, head up above the clouds and into the upper layers of the atmosphere, and finally out of the atmosphere and up into space. It's here then that perhaps for the first time we can truly appreciate the scale of what Outerra has achieved. Procedural generation has become a bit of a buzzword lately. With the massive hype surrounding No Man's Sky, it was something that was thought to be all the rage, but it's nothing new. It has been around for a very long time indeed. Yet there are very few high quality examples that are capable of showing what procedural generation is capable of. Outerra is one such example, perhaps one of the best, and we've got to remember that everything here is on a true one-to-one scale with its real-world counterpart. There are, of course, other great examples of procedural generation out there. CIG have showed off what they've done with Star Citizen recently at CitizenCon. Elite Dangerous, of course, is a great example, as is Battlescape Infinity. And we shouldn't forget the mighty Space Engine. All of these are well worth checking out, and there are many other examples that also use procedural technology. When procedural generation is handled poorly, it will naturally give very poor results, but when it's put in the hands of those who are capable of using it to its full effect, it will give you truly spectacular results. Our planet Earth has many different types of environments, from the deserts and grassy plains that we saw earlier in this tech demo, to the spectacular snowy mountains of Alaska and Canada. And once again here, we can see just how well all that detail is handled and realised. Keep in mind that this software is considered to be in an alpha state. Now, Outerra doesn't only simulate landscape, it simulates full weather patterns as well. And it's not unusual to find yourself caught up in an area of fog or heavy rain. As I move away from the cold climates, the snow disappears, revealing the mountains in their bare form. And over the horizon here, I finally come to an area warm enough to support full vegetation and trees. And again, these are the sort of areas that just seem so beautiful. You can have full control over how the grass and the trees are actually rendered through the game's settings menu, and there I had them set on the default, which was pretty low. Around the other side of the planet is a small airport, or airfield if you want to call it that, and here it gives me the opportunity to show you another aspect of Outerra. Not content with simply realizing a fully fledged planet, the Outerra team have also implemented various vehicles, and all of these are accurately modelled in terms of both their appearance and their function. Things like planes, for example, will be heavily affected by gravity. Quite a few of these vehicles require full purchase of the software, and you also have the ability to import custom-made vehicles. But it does include a number of these for free with the demo. There are a few planes you can use. Unfortunately, you can't use any of these ships, but you can use a truck. And we're going to hop into that right now so we can get a good idea of what it's all about. So as you can see there, the interior of the truck is fully realised, not fully finished in terms of texture yet, and there's no mirrors, but I'm sure that will all come with time. And I'm sure you can already tell by now that this has a decent physics setup for the driving model. There are roads dotted all around the planet. They go on for many miles, and along them you'll be able to take yourself across a fascinating journey through all types of terrains, although the vehicles of course move at normal speeds, meaning it will take you a long time to get anywhere if you choose to travel in this manner. So getting off the runway there and heading onto the taxiway, you can see this actually heads off over there into the distance towards the mountains itself. There's some hangars there in the distance, and we're just going to skip across the terrain here over the road to just see where that road in the distance leads to. It all starts to feel a little bit bumpy here, and if you do get too carried away over the wrong type of terrain, you will find yourself causing a bit of harm to your vehicle in the terms of turning it over on its side. And just look at that. Over there in the distance you can see two parked up helicopters, which appear to be the Apache model. As you can probably guess, I've only covered a few basic areas of Outerra, and it is quite in depth the more you get into it. It's something that's well worth looking into, and you can see a link to the Outerra website in the video description. Keep an eye on the horizon here as I approach the helicopters, because the weather rather suddenly changes from nice and clear to foggy and overcast with a bit of rain thrown into the mix. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.